We might have.
Thank you.
Oh, you do?
Your captains this evening for Corbin. 23, Brandon Baker. 75, Tucker Burns. 15, Evan Ford. 13, Travion Longmire.
Kickoff here at Campbell Field. Hounds at home for the first round of the Class 4A playoffs, hosting the Wayne County Cardinals. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett inside the warm T107 broadcast booth. Winter conditions descending down on the field. We're going to have weather in the low 30s in tonight's football game as Corbin playing first-round action against district opponent Wayne County Cardinals, looking to move on in the postseason, JB. Cold night tonight against a familiar foe, and just another night at the office for the Hounds for sure.
That's right, and you're right, Ronnie. It's good to be in the high top the T107 Red Hound radio booth. It's definitely warm in here, but it's definitely cold out there. And, again, we talk about the Hounds this season. 10-0, perfect on the season in the regular season, and kind of starting their second season tonight on the journey to Kroger Field. So tonight I look for the Hounds to come out strong, especially with those big guys up front. Hopefully, the Hounds need to come out of this football game injury-free. The Hounds have had a few injuries lately, so the Hounds want to be injury-free, and so it would be a good thing to kind of get some guys healed up as the Hounds start their playoff run towards Kroger Field.
Teams are on the field right now. 3.5 minutes until we kick it off right now. Coin toss at center field. These two teams, of course, now you play your district opponents in the first two rounds in high school. Corbin comes in tonight's contest 10-0, unblemished on the season. On the other side, Wayne County has quite a different season, 4-6 on the year, including one of those losses to the Red Hounds. Corbin downed Wayne County pretty easily in the regular season meeting, 42-0 here at Campbell Field. Hounds would love nothing more than to have the same result tonight and get out injury-free into round two.
Yeah, exactly. You're the Hounds, like you said just a second ago. You want to come out here. You want to take care of business. You look at, the Hounds have, like I said a second ago as well, had a few injuries up front. Defensive line, Big Frank injured. Bryson Batt recovering from that ankle injury. Braden Reynolds, may be limited tonight as well. So you come into the first round of the playoffs. You want to get started fast. You want to, kind of set the tone early and get things going your way. So look for the Hounds tonight, Coach Greer, Coach Elam, to come out fast and get a fast start tonight.
Teams are on the field suspiciously early. We still have 2 minutes until we kick tonight's action off. So with 2 minutes to go before kickoff, JB, what are the keys to victory tonight for the Hounds to secure win number 11 on the season?
Yeah, the Hounds keep it perfect tonight. JB keys to the game. Number one, offensively, keep getting the ball to Seth Mills, Seth Huff. We talked about Thunder and Lightning in the past. Hey, Thunder and Lightning, a.k.a. 2.0 tonight. So two playmakers the Hounds have. Keep feeding Seth Mills, Seth Huff. And then number two is playoff time. So I always like to go to the 3 T's: tackling, turnovers, time of possession. So on defense, you always want to be great tacklers. Time of possession, you want to control the football. And then number 3, you always want to have no turnovers. So really, you just Hounds start fast tonight and get ready to make that run towards Kroger Field.
Ball's teed up. We're ready to kick it off. Kickoff on the ground just past the Corbin Hands team, picked up by Curry, back at the 30. Or it's up to the 40, back up to about the 32-yard line. Had to lose some yards there to gain a few, but after the return, Corbin will sit up 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, pretty good field position right here. The Hounds have done a great job all season long with, really kind of creating great field position, whether it be, in returning the football or, punting the football, whatever. And right here, the Hounds set up right around the 33-yard line. So Hounds in good shape to start this football game.
Combs opens up in the shotgun. Twin wide receivers to his right, one wide out to the left. A running back flanking him on either side. Cardinals showing blitz. Play action, fires. Got a running back out of the backfield. That's Mills. Catches the wheel route wide open, loses his balance. But not before he makes it up to the 50-yard line. Gain of about 17 on the pitch and catch. Corbin back on the ball quickly, looking to go no huddle here early.
Yeah, just moving fast right here. Really good pitch and catch, like you said, Ronnie, from Cam Combs to Seth Mills, and right about midfield. Hounds, moving fast in the hurry up and looking to kind of get this play going from Coach Elam, the offensive coordinator for the Hounds.
Same formation. Twin wideouts to the right, one to the left. He's got Mills and Huff joining him in the backfield. Cardinals again showing blitz, and they bring it. Handoff goes to Huff up the gut.
There he goes.
Spins off a tackle, still trucking Cardinals with him on down to about the 37-yard line. That's about 12, 13 yards on the carry. That's more than enough for the Red Hound first down.
Yeah, just moving the chains again. Hounds in kind of hurry up mode. And, you look at the average, Seth Huff, number 22 for the Hounds, averaging right at 10 yards a carry, so a little bit over his average. So running behind that big left side of the offensive line, Seth Huff, moving the football for the Hounds first down.
Hounds empty the backfield on 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 37. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Combs remains in the shotgun. Now he brings Mills in motion. Fakes the screen, now keeps it himself up the gut, up to the 35. Not much there. Right up to the 34-yard line. Picks up about 3 on the quarterback draw.
Yeah, not a whole lot up in there, but again, you spread the field, you use your weapons, and really Cam Combs just kind of using the little fake to Seth Mills right there, and then get behind the offensive line. So good to see again Cam Combs, just kind of the point guard of the offense, doing a great job leading the Hounds down the field.
Twin wideouts split each way on second down. Mills remains in at running back. Hard count. Cardinals walking up a couple linebackers showing blitz. They don't bite on the hard count as Combs makes an audible to both sides. Mills offset to the left. Receives the snap, now sets the throw. Back to pass. Flushed out, now throws to his check down. That's Mills in the flat. Makes the receiver miss the 30.
There he
up
goes.
to the 20. Now he's got the angle, going to walk it in for the touchdown.
My goodness, I tell you what, the Hounds come out here, they're running fast, they're wanting to start fast, and with 9:53 left in this first quarter, put points on the board. A little, like you said, Ronnie, a little check down out to the right side, and then Seth Mills gets to the end zone in a hurry. So, again, Seth Mills just doing a great job. That's looks like 17 touchdowns so far, so make that 18 touchdowns this season for Seth Mills. Great job by the Hounds to strike fast.
Baker on to add the extra point. Didn't take long. Corbin to find the end zone. Snap is down. Kick is up and away through the uprights and good. 9:53 left in the first quarter of play. Corbin on top 7-2-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Appalachian Wireless and Samsung introduced a smartphone that everyone is flipping over, the Z Flip 3. Looking for something that stands out in the crowd amongst regular smartphones? Then the Z Flip 3 is the device for you. On the region's best service, Appalachian Wireless, the Z Flip 3 is an actual flip phone that, when opened, reveals a stunning 6.7-inch touchscreen for the best of both worlds. It's compact, powerful, and the most unique smartphone in the world. Get more information at AppalachianWireless.com. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Welcome back to Campbell Field. Hounds struck first. Only took them right around 3 minutes to find the end zone. Actually, two minutes or so to find the end zone. 7-0 over Wayne County. Cam Combs found Seth Mills on a little chuck down. He took it to the house, puts Corbin on top. Jacob Baker on to kick it away for the Hounds, puts the toe to it. High end over end kick, sailing towards the goal line, going to go out of the back of the end zone for the touchback. That's a familiar scene for Baker on kickoffs this year.
Yeah, again, you wonder the cold weather, does that have an effect on the kicking game? And Jacob Baker, just kicks it right down in there with a touchback. But, you talk about the Hounds offense and how the Hounds come out to attack tonight in the first round of the playoffs. And, just moving fast, getting the tempo going, and, putting points up on the board in a hurry. So Hounds strike fast, right out of the gate there and kind of set the tone for this football game.
Antoine Dumford opens up at quarterback for the Cardinals. Twin wideouts each way. He's in the shotgun. Rolls to the right, now fires into the flats. Going to be hauled in and caught at the 25. He's going to be tackled down where he caught it. Picks up about 5 yards on the pitch and catch. Good open field coverage there by Mr. Longmire.
Yeah, Travion coming up from his corner spot there, just making a kind of a tackle in space. Hounds start off, of course, in their familiar four-man front. You got Carter Sevier up there, Joe Brown up in there, and, trying to see if Braden Reynolds is up in there. I don't think so tonight, but, like I said, he's been limited with a couple injuries. So, hopefully to get Braden Reynolds back in the front four for the Hounds.
Pistol set for the Cardinals. Trips to the left. Handoff now going to the right, trying to find some running room. In the interior of the Red Hound defense, he'll pick up a couple. Now it'll be 3rd and about 3 for this Cardinal offense.
And a good job right there, Mikey Neal, the freshman Mike linebacker. We talk about Mikey Neal a lot. He's a tackling leader on the team for the Hounds. Tackle number 87. So
wow.
Yeah, exactly. So if there's a runner loose or anything in the middle, that front four kind of clears the path for Mikey Neal, number 40, to make the hit, and did a great job right there.
Twin wideouts each way. Cardinals going to go with a quarterback draw up the gut. Forward progress should give him the first down. He picked up about 4 on the carry. He only needed a couple, so Cardinals moved the sticks first time in the football game. They had a tough time getting first downs in the initial regular season meeting.
Yeah, exactly. You look at that score, 42-0, all Hounds in the first meeting. But right here in the playoffs, number 5, Antoine Dunford comes out and moves the chains right out of the gate. So, if you're the Hounds, you want to, Dunford kind of the one-man gang for the Cardinals. So make the hit, make the stop right there if you're the Hounds defense.
Corbin switching defenses, 3-man front. Now they're walking up linebackers. They're bringing the blitz. Dunford flushed out of the pocket, not going to get there. They're going to be sacked in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, big Joe Brown right there, coming from his defensive end spot. And you mentioned it right there, Ronnie, the 3-man front. What that does, you take a defensive lineman out of there, you add the extra athlete in the box that can run, and, you kind of go with a 3-4 look. And, it gets that athlete on the field, and then you're able to kind of track down Dunford, the quarterback for the Cardinals. So really good adjustment right there for the Hounds defense.
You can't tell. It almost looks like they're running a 3-3-5 and using the Rovers on the outside. Yeah. Same formation. Dunford rolls out to his left, now throws a high ball over the receiver's head in the flat. Incomplete. That's a difficult throw for a right-handed quarterback throwing across his body.
Yeah, a tough throw. And now that you look at it, you're exactly right. I think they are, running that 3-3-5. And, we hadn't seen a lot of that from the Hounds. No. But a really good job by, Coach Greer recognizes, how Dunford is a great athlete. He's been kind of, like I said a minute ago, kind of that one guy that you can go to move the chains for the Cardinals. So, Coach Greer doing a great job to make those adjustments for the Hounds defense.
Hounds check in an extra D lineman on 3rd and long. Dunford in the shotgun. Back to pass. Has to step up in the pocket. Now he's going to tuck it and run it. Just not a lot of running room there. Picks up 2 or 3 on the scramble, but he's woefully shy of the first down marker. Cardinals are going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, it looks like Cardinals coming out to punt, and right there, number 55, the defensive tackle up front for the Hounds making the hit. And again, Hounds defense making a few adjustments, kind of figuring it out a little bit, kind of throwing that punch, that counter punch at the Cardinals offense, doing a great job to figure it out. And now, the Cardinals got to punt the football away, and the Hounds should set up right here in good field position.
Dunford back to kick. Had a punt blocked a week ago. Puts a toe to it. It's a low line drive. Lands and takes a Cardinal roll. Now Mills is going to field it over his shoulder. Tries to reverse and make a return, but he's going to be tracked down from behind at his own 30-yard line. Hounds still pretty good field position to start their second drive.
Yeah, I think so. Anytime you can start, to run your offense at 30, 40-yard line, we've seen the Hounds, play on one side of the field a lot this season. So, anytime you can start right around the 30-yard line, you set your offense up for a good position to move the football and, make some things happen on offense.
Combs and company will start on their own 31-yard line. 5 wide receivers, trips to his right, twins to his left. Huff's in at slot right now. Going to snap it and keep it himself on the quarterback draw, up the gut. Got a few positive yards, not many. To right around the 34-yard line. Might have picked up 3 or 4 on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, not much right in there. And you look at the Cardinals defense. Wayne County comes out, they've got that 3-man front. They kind of play the 3-4 look. They've got 2 inside linebackers and 2, it's like Coach Greer likes to call them rovers on the edge. They walk those rovers up, and we saw the rover come up for Wayne County to make the hit. So, kind of resets the football right here on second down.
Same formation. Corbin going with the empty set. Combs still sitting in the shotgun. Cardinals showing blitz. They bring it from everywhere. Combs back to pass. Fires over the middle. In and out of Curry's hands. Put the ball on him. He just couldn't haul it in through contact. Incomplete.
Yeah, tough break right there for the Hounds. And, Cam Combs, you think about running the empty set. When you run that empty set, you're saying, Cam Combs is going to make a great decision. And, when you look at the stats, Cam Combs only 1 interception on the season. So, Cam Combs, kind of the point guard of the offense, always makes really good decisions. So, good to see, Coach Elam kind of spreading the football and letting Cam Combs go to work.
Now Corbin staring down the barrel of 3rd and 7, twin wideouts each way. Huff comes in the backfield. Combs remains in the shotgun. Cardinals again showing blitz, and they bring it. Corbin hands it off on 3rd and long. Still dragging Cardinals with him. He's got the first down. He's got more. Up to about the Corbin 42-yard line. That's a gain of about 8 on the third down carry. That's enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, really good job right there. You spread the football out, and, you got Seth Huff in the ace formation, the one-back formation. You got third and long. What do? You hand it to Seth Huff, trusting that the offensive line are going to make the blocks, and then Seth Huff's going to carry the football to move the chains. And right there, Hounds offense just really moving the football in a hurry right here.
Good second effort from Huff's. Got the Hounds first and 10 at their own 42. He's in at running back. Cardinals again showing blitz. Handoff across the left side. Huff trying to find some running room. Tackled down at the 45-yard line. Picks up about 3 or 4 on the carry.
Yeah, just another good, tough run, inside run. And that's where, we talked about the thunder and lightning. You got Seth Mills can take it outside. Seth Huff gets the tough yards. And right there, just a good, tough 3 to 4 tough run right there for Seth Huff. So good job again, just Hounds right now pounding away, controlling that time of possession, keeping the Wayne County Cardinal offense off the field.
Second down and about 6. Corbin going to remain in the same formation. Twin wideouts each way, 4 total on the field. Wayne County resetting its defense. They've got 5 walked up at the line of scrimmage, showing blitz on second and long. Play action. Fires over the
there
middle.
We go.
Hauled in and caught down to the Wayne County 39-yard line. Tried to get that play running a week ago. Couldn't get the sync up out in space.
That's right.
But Curry, in dry conditions, able to haul it in for the first down.
Yeah, really good play right there. And that's what that run game does. You run the play action, and, the backers, like you just said, Ronnie, the linemen start to creep up. The outside backers start to creep up, and then it creates that little window in there. And, Cam Combs does a great job to deliver the football.
Same formation on first and 10 in Wayne County territory. Combs in the shotgun, trying the hard count. Almost draws that edge rusher offside, but not quite. Shifting their defense often. Combs makes a couple audibles. Corbin goes to some armbands this week, doing a lot more audibling from the backfield. 2 seconds on the play clock. Corbin may be forced to burn a timeout here. And they do. 4:04 remaining in the first quarter of play. Corbin takes its first timeout with the score. Corbin 7, Wayne County nothing. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
What's up, y'all? This is Chase Rice hanging outdoors with an ice-cold Mountain Dew. It's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. For one thing, there's a rack on your car and a hitch on the back of your truck. There's a garage full of toys from wakeboards to dirt bikes. And there's a cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out and do, hit the lake or the deer stand, a cooler of Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your four-wheeler or your fishing rod. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mi Casa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mi Casa of Corbin.
Out of the timeout here, Campbell Field, 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter of play. Corbin leads Wayne County 7-0. They rushed back out of a quick timeout, ran a play in the commercial break, incomplete pass. You didn't miss anything on your radio dial.
That's right.
I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth here. First round of 4A playoffs. Corbin's got the ball and driving at the Wayne County 39-yard line where it's 2nd and 10. Combs in the shotgun, twin wideouts each way. Handoff going to go straight ahead to Huff at the 35.
Goes.
Throws the stiff arm. Another one at the 30. Picks up a block at the 25 and takes a pack of Cardinals to drag him out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Picks up 19 yards on the carry. That's enough for the Red Hound first down.
Yeah, just a good run right there. Good blocking up front by the Hounds offense. And, you spread out. You're in the A set, and Seth Huff back there takes the football off the right side. And it always, every time I see a run like that, Seth Huff being really, attacking, then being patient, then attacking again, it always makes me ask the question, how does he do that? I know I played, and I could never do something like that. So Hounds running back, Seth Huff, just doing a great job right there.
That's a big guy in space. 220-pound running back. Split out at wide receiver. 5 wide. Now he'll bring Huff in motion. Keeps it up the gut with a quarterback draw across the left side. Slips a tackle down inside the 10-yard line. That's a pickup of about 11 on the quarterback draw. That's enough for another Red Hound first down.
Yeah, just keep moving the chains right there. You know, you saw Seth Huff, we saw Seth Mills, Cam Combs running the football, kind of the three-headed monster right there. You know, Cam Combs, he can run the football as well, so has looks like 431 yards, rushing. So Cam Combs on the season, so Cam Combs doing great things in the running game.
First and goal at the Cardinal 8. Corbin's been in this twin wideout set each way the whole drive. Stewart Newberry to the right. Elam in at slot. Longmire down to the left. He resets Huff to the left. He'll give the handoff across the right side. Now he'll bounce it.
There he goes.
Hurdles a defender at the 5-yard line. They're going to tag him for hurdling there. That's a bad call. I think you can hurdle a player in the action of tackling, which he was.
Yeah, and you know, Ronnie, right there, if they throw the flag, so what right there?
Yeah,
that's pretty
whatever.
cool anyways,
Whatever.
man. You see a guy go up in there and, he takes flight and, picks up yards. So if you want to flag him, go ahead. That was a cool play by Seth Huff. And, the Hounds right now, kind of getting that spread offense going, just spreading things out and, kind of creating running lanes in there for the running back for the Hounds, Seth Huff. And Huff doing a great job getting behind the big offensive line, moving the football.
Result of the penalty is going to move Corbin back just a hair to the Wayne County 16-yard line. Corbin going to remain in the shotgun with twin wideouts each way, 2 to each side. Huff in at running back, resting to Combs' right. Back to pass, fires in the flat, hauled in and caught by Elam. He'll be tackled down right around where he caught it, right around the 14-yard line. May have picked up 4 or 5 on that. Still second and goal.
Yeah, you look at Cade Elam out there in the ace formation, kind of running an out route, catching the football, and you're wondering if, the Hounds want to put that on tape, maybe to set up something right there. But, Cade Elam checking out now, but, really good pitch and catch right there by both quarterbacks. So, kind of something different for the Hounds offense right there.
Makes all the Red Hound faithful a little nervous to see him take those shots, but second and goal from the 13. Handoff going to go straight ahead to Huff. He's going to barrel through the first wave, find down right around the 6-yard line. Picks up about 7 on the carry. Now it's going to be third and goal from the Wayne County 6.
Yeah, again, just Seth Huff taking the football, running right into the teeth of the Wayne County Cardinal defense right there. And, anytime you can get behind that big offensive line of the Hounds and, get Seth Huff, that big running back running it, that's the Thunder and Lightning, and just doing a great job hitting it up in there to move the football. So Hounds look to convert right here on third down.
3rd and 6 as the clock goes down inside a minute. Wildcat formation. Handoff to Longmire in motion across the left side into the end zone for the touchdown.
My goodness, I tell you, Travion just turned on the Jets on the kind of the jet sweep right there around the left side. You put the football in Travion Longmire's hands. He runs a jet sweep around the left side, puts the foot on the gas pedal, gets to the pylon, and puts 6 points on the up on the board for the Hounds offense. So really good job blocking, really good job running by Travion Longmire.
Second touchdown of the game. Also, first one on the ground. Corbin piled him up on the ground a week ago. Baker on to add the extra point. Snap is down. Kick is up and away. Almost blocked. He gets it out of there through the uprights and good. 46 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. It's Corbin 14, Wayne County nothing. We'll be back in 30. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Hometown Bank is proud of their name because Hometown Bank is proud of the hometowns they're in. In fact, their name is their mission, which is to take care of the communities in which they work and live. Hometown Bank is always here to help, so if you're buying a house, remodeling your kitchen, or need a home equity loan to combine other debt, come see Hometown Bank and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
.46 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play here at Campbell Field. Corbin 14, Wayne County nothing. Travion Longmire kept it himself from 6 yards out for the touchdown. Corbin on top by 2 scores. Trying to move on to that second round of the playoffs. Baker on to kick it away for Corbin. He'll approach, put the foot to it. It's a high end-over-end kick. Going to be fielded at the Wayne County 10 up to the 20. He's going to be tackled from behind. That's up to about the 23-yard line. Good kick coverage there from Red Hounds.
Yeah, really good kick coverage right there. It looked like number 19, Carter Stewart, flying down, making the tackle in space there, doing a great job. And, again, Jacob Baker just able to kind of pin the offense down deep. He's done that all season. And right there, on special teams, the Hounds do a great job. So good job by Jacob Baker kicking the football, and then really, really good coverage by the Hounds special teams unit right there.
Dunford operating out of the shotgun on his own 23. Back to pass, throws it to his running back in the flat. He's going to get hammered. Fights ahead to about the 25-yard line. He earned both of those yards.
Yeah, he kind of had to really get his money's worth on those two. Zane Hammock, Mikey Neal come up, make a big hit in space. And, the big front four for the Hounds get really good pressure. So Dunford has to get rid of the football. And, then the running back for the Cardinals pays the price right there.
That's the end of the first quarter of play. After one, it's Corbin 14, Wayne County nothing. We'll be back with second quarter action in 60 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
When you've been in business since 1954, you have to be doing something right. At Owens Auto Repair, they believe in honesty, service, and that hard work can still get you somewhere. Owens offers a complete line of truck and auto parts, as well as their custom-made hydraulic hoses, weather guard toolboxes, utility beds, and Sherwin-Williams auto paint. They also offer auto repair for cars, trucks, and RVs, and of course have top name brand tires. And they do towing and recovery. Owens Auto Repair, located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway.
Our world has dramatically changed over the past couple of years. We've all had to adjust to these changing times. But one thing has not changed is the fact that the Hart family and Tri-County Cycle Sales is still serving southeastern Kentucky with the same quality products and service after the sale since 1968. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Polaris are the biggest names in off-road adventure and still can be found at Tri-County Cycle Sales. For your next ATV or side-by-side, stop by the place where time has stood still. Tri-County Cycle Sales, located between Corbin and London on US 25 across from Kentucky Outdoorsman.
Here at Campbell Field, first round of the playoffs, Corbin up 14-0 over the visiting Wayne County Cardinals. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. I am glad to be inside.
That's
cold,
right.
Wintry conditions out here, football weather. We're past that.
That's right.
Temperatures expected to dip down in the 30s tonight here at Campbell Field. Good crowd from the Corbin faithful. Wayne County didn't bring too many folks over here for this tonight's contest, but again, first round in the cold weather, you don't expect huge crowds in Kentucky with 6 classes.
No, that's right. Not a big crowd for the Wayne County Cardinals, but the Hounds, the Red Hound Nation representing, that's for sure. And, the Hounds, football team not disappointing as well. So Hounds up, like you said, Ronnie, 14-0 right here to start this second quarter. And, the defense on the field there. So looks like the Hounds may be running that 3-man front right here coming out to attack the Wayne County Cardinal offense.
Haven't seen it all year. They've got this Florida formation, 6 wide receivers, only 3 linemen. Pump fakes, now puts it in the air for the deep ball. Going to be intercepted. Did he get the foot down? Depends on the referee call. That was a heck of a catch by Poor.
There we go.
And he did. Picked off down in Wayne County territory. Great interception there by Poor out in space.
Yeah, just a great job right there, Evan Poor, reading the play, knowing, Wayne County's going to try to, come up with some trick, some way to kind of get some things going, and just does a great job. Hounds on the season, 23 turnovers, make that 24 right there.
Wow.
15 interceptions, number 15 for the Hounds defense, and, just doing a really good job. Saw an interesting stat the other day, Ronnie. The Hounds in 4A football have scored 444 points, the most. Hounds defense only gave up 95 points on the season, the least. So Hounds, just playing great football this season.
Combs will take over on his own 37-yard line. Has Huff and Mills joining him in the backfield. Mills gets the call up.
There he goes.
Now he hits the Jets at the 50, making people miss down to Wayne County territory, down to the 45-yard line. Big gain from Mills out of the backfield down into Cardinal territory.
Yeah, just a good run right there. Again, it all starts up front behind that big offensive line. And Seth Mills, making people miss. You get to that second level, the Hounds offensive line takes care of the first level. Then Seth Mills gets to the second level, makes a couple guys miss, and then creates it's a huge, huge gain for the Hounds offense.
1st and 10 at the Cardinal 45. Same formation. Twin wideouts to the right. Longmire by himself to the left. He's got Huff and Mills joining him in the backfield. Making a couple adjustments. Again, Corbin going with the wristbands this week. Handoff's going to go to Huff. They bring a big blitz. Wrapped up, and no, he's not. He's still going to retreat, throw some Cardinals to the ground. Now he's surging forward. He's going to make a gain out of it. Ball is on the ground now. It's picked up by Longmire at the 30, and they're going to blow it dead. Wow, that could have been the most exciting play you're going to see all year. Still was, just to reiterate. Huff took the handoff. Got hit in the face mask as soon as he caught the ball, retreated a good 10 yards, and made a positive gain out of it. Picked up 4 before he was brought down to the ground.
Yeah, huge job. A great job right there by Seth Huff. Didn't know what was even going on right there, and somehow, some way, Seth Huff turns it into a 4-yard run after, like you said, Ronnie, retreating into the backfield. So, again, Seth Huff, he's just hard to tackle in space. So, really good job by Seth Huff. Just to keep working, and, move the football.
They're going to call inadvertent whistle and make him replay the down. This is the same game earlier this year. They had the inadvertent whistle that dissipated the Braden Reynolds touchdown fumble recovery.
That's right.
That's a bad call.
Yeah, a tough break right there for the Hounds. You're right.
The inadvertent whistle is the most ridiculous rule in high school football.
Yeah, just a tough play for the Hounds. Had a little bit of gain, moving the football, and then, getting, have to replay the down right here.
That's the call, though. The refs make the law that day on the field. Longmire still shaking his head over it. He was taking that one to the house.
That's right.
Nonetheless, Corbin will reset 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Combs in the shotgun. Mills is his running back. He's got twin wideouts split out each way in the 4-wide set. Cardinals showing blitz. They bring 6. He loads up and fires over the middle.
There we go.
Stewart, great catch inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line. That's enough for a first down, Red Hounds.
Yeah, just a good play right there. Like you said, the Cardinals showing blitz, and, Cam Combs sees it. He sits behind the big offensive line for the Hounds, knows the routes of receivers, of course, and then, delivers a dart right across the middle on the post pattern and, moves the chains for the first down. So, again, great decisions by Cam Combs, the quarterback for the Hounds.
Hounds in the red zone. Combs been under the gun tonight. Cardinals been sending more than the Hounds can block in the box. Again, going with wristbands this week, letting Combs make some adjustments. He does so now. Resets Mills to his right. 4 wide receivers on the field. Quarterback draw up the gut. Now he'll bounce it out to the right side. Tackled down by a host of Cardinals. He might have picked up 2 or 3 on the keeper.
Yeah, I think so. 2 or 3 right there. And again, to me, it's an awesome formation right there. You see kind of Cam Combs sitting back there, making those good decisions, as we said a minute ago. He runs it, he throws it, hands it off to Seth Huff, Seth Mills. Again, Cam Combs, just a great decision maker for the Hounds offense. And, right around 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, Hounds up 14-0, looking to put more points on the board right here.
Same formation for the Hounds. Wayne County making a lot of shifting on the defensive side. They finally get set. Combs loads up, pump fakes. Now he fires, hooks up on the stop route down to the 15-yard line. Going to be very close to first down yardage. Can't get the number on who hauled that in. Looks like that'd be Curry on the reception.
Yeah, I think so. And Curry, just doing a good job finding that little spot in there, kind of settling down and making a good catch. And again, Hounds moving the chains, first down. And, Coach Elam, offense coordinator for the Hounds, just kind of, sending those signals off those wristbands into the Hounds offense. And the Hounds really primarily all night long have kind of run that spread offense, especially in the ace formation again right here.
That was enough for the Red Hound first down. The Wayne County 15 Combs in the shotgun. Cardinals bringing blitz, play action. Swings it out in the flat, incomplete. Tried to hook up on the rocket screen out in space. Could not do so. Ball falls to the turf. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 right here. And it looked like, the Cardinals, again, inching up to the line of scrimmage. They got the 3-man front and then bring the 2 outside linebackers, kind of trying to put the Hounds, under the gun, a little bit of pressure. again, Cam Combs sees the one-on-one, sees the man coverage, and then kind of tries to deliver the football. But unfortunately for the Hounds, not able to do that. Brings up a second down right here.
Corbin keeps 4 wide receivers on the field on second down. Handoff going up the gut to Mills. Throws the stiff arm, still fighting for yardage. Down to the Cardinal 10. That'd be about a gain of 4 on the handoff. Now Corbin looking at about 3rd and about 6 down in the Cardinal red zone.
Yeah, and a good play right there. You give the ball up in there to Seth Mills. He makes a couple people miss, and he gets 3 or 4 yards. And, you kind of create a 3rd and manageable right here, a 3rd and 6. So, look for the Hounds to try to pick up the first down right here.
Corbin likes to remain in the shotgun all game long, even in the red zone. Comes again making some adjustments. Think Corbin adding the wrinkles teams do in the playoffs right now. He'll reset Mills to his left. Twin wideouts each way. Fakes the handoff, fires over the middle. Halden and caught by Curry for the touchdown.
Wow, I tell you again, a little bit of a play action right there. And then, Cam Combs delivers a touchdown to Curry, the wide receiver. So, again, man coverage, Cam Combs, again, we talked about it all season long. Just 1 interception on the season, a great decision maker, delivers a football. Really good job by the Hounds offense and quarterback Cam Combs.
Xander Curry, 2nd touchdown reception for the Hounds. That's his first on the night. 2 touchdown passes for Combs. Baker on to add the extra point. Kick is up and away. It is very good. 7:33 remaining in the first half of play. Corbin on top, 21-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means 2 things: hunting season and it's football time in the Bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on U.S. Highway 25 between Corbin and London next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
7:33 remaining in the second quarter. Corbin extends its lead 21-0 over the visiting Wayne County Cardinals. Round 1 of the playoffs, second half of the season, the one that matters.
That's right. That's right.
I'm Ronnie Bolin with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Cam Combs putting on a clinic tonight's contest. Baker will approach and put the toe to it. It's a high end-over-end kick. Going to be fielded right at the Wayne County 5, up to the 10. Up to the 20.
There we go.
Not going to find much room there. Going to be hammered down by the Red Hound return unit.
Again, Cam Combs does a great job. If you don't get the touchback, he can kind of get a little bit of air on the kick. And Joe Lester, #1, comes in there and, cleans up for the Hounds on special teams. So, again, kind of pinning the Cardinals back a little bit right about the 19-yard line. Again, using the weapon of Jacob Baker. He can punt the football, he can kick the football, field goals. Jacob Baker, a huge, huge weapon for the Hounds.
Cardinals come out. Again, Florida formation, 3 linemen, 6 wide receivers. Dumford pump fakes, trying to make something, throws over the middle, almost intercepted, but it's going to be caught at the 35, up to the Cardinal 40. Second first down of the game for the Cardinals. Well, that was almost picked off.
Yeah, really, really close right there. The Cardinals, really fortunate not to get the interception. Brandon Baker on the tackle. The Hounds, Brandon Baker has 70 tackles on the season, 3 interceptions. So, you talk about putting the ball in the air. Brandon Baker's around. He's going to find it. 3 interceptions for the Hounds on the season.
1st and 10 at the Wayne County 43. Same odd formation. Going to be a rocket screen hauled in and caught in the flat. Picks up a couple blocks, misses a hold. He's going to be out of bounds near the first down. Actually going to give him the first down. I have a Cardinal shaken up on the play.
Yeah, and you talk about making adjustments in the playoffs, and the Cardinals coming out and showing kind of that Florida formation there, kind of showing a lot of different things right here to the Hounds defense. So, and moving the football a little bit. So, Hounds defense, Coach Greer and company, reset right here, kind of get things settled down and, try to get off the field right here for the Hounds defense.
The number when we get it, he's down getting treatment from the staff on the field. Again, it's 6:52 remaining in the second. Corbin 21, Wayne County nothing. district opponents. Played earlier in the season. Corbin took down the Cardinals 42-0 here at Campbell Field. They'll play the winner of this night's contest. Will play the winner of Knox Central and Lincoln County. That game being played up in Stanford tonight. We'll be here for next week action should the score hold.
Yeah, Hounds again, you come into the first round and, you've got a big advantage. Hounds, doing everything they can, 10-0 on the season, moving into the first round of the playoffs against the Cardinals of Wayne County. So, you want to settle down. You want to get a start fast, which the Hounds have done. And, with this big lead, 21-0 right here in the second quarter. So, Hounds really playing well. And, you just get lined up in this first playoff game and see if you can move on to the second one.
Crazy formation. We call it the Florida formation, but there's only 3 down linemen. Corbin's going to bring the blitz. One-handed catch on the screen, out in the flat, down into Red Hound territory, down to the 35-yard line. Gain of 10, that's going to be enough for the Cardinal first down. And that formation is there's 3 linemen in the box. There's 1 running back in. There's 2 linemen split out each way, like a tackle and a tight end, and then wide receivers stacked in behind them. We call it the Florida formation.
Right.
You don't see a lot of people run it anymore.
No, not exactly. And, it's just a formation right there. And really the Cardinals have had their most success with this formation. So right here staying with it.
Probably just not a lot of film on this particular set. But Dumford in the gun, same formation, keeps it on the quarterback draw. He's going to get hammered for his troubles. Picks up 2 on the keeper.
Yeah, good job there. Finally by the Hounds defense, kind of dialing it in a little bit. Number 17, Evan Baker, coming up making the tackle in space. But, again, just a good job by the Hounds. Coach Greer figuring this formation out. You want to settle in right here. Of course, Wayne County going to come out, try to move the football any way they can using this formation. So, really good job by the Hounds defense right there.
2nd and 8, Florida formation for the Cardinals. Dumford in the shotgun. Rolls to the right. Now he'll look to keep it himself up the middle. Tripped up, but not before he picks up a nice gain down to the 26-yard line. Brings up 3rd and about 2 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, just 3rd and a couple right here. And Mikey Neal, the Hounds tackling leader, making the tackle in space. But, again, you get that formation so spread out, and then the quarterback kind of goes to work and makes his decision. And right there, Dunford pulling the football down, moving it and picking up a pretty good yardage right there for the Wayne County Cardinals.
3rd and short, Florida formation for the Cardinals. Dumford in the shotgun, hard count. No bite from the Red Hound defensive line. We get an adjustment. Coach Guffey on the sideline and reset. Corbin brings the blitz, rolls to the right. Now he's going to keep it himself across the right side. Breaking tackles, got the first down, got more. Trekking down into the Red Hound red zone right around the Corbin 17.
Yeah, and you talk about the blitz right there, Ronnie. The Hounds brought the blitz up around, Dunford's left side. But, Dunford, being smart right there, runs the football to the right side and, kind of gets behind his offensive line, makes a couple people miss, moves the chain. So, again, just almost kind of a tough formation to kind of figure out right here. Again, Hounds doing a pretty good job, but really kind of filling their way right here on first down.
Same formation, Dumford. Back to pass. Now he's going to keep it
himself.
Go. Not very far, though. He's going to be sacked in the backfield by the Red Hound D-line back to his own 20.
Yeah, just a good job right there. Sean Brummett, Troy Faulkner coming up, making the hit. The defensive tackles in there for the Hounds defensive line. And, again, you talk about that Florida formation. The Cardinals of Wayne County kind of staying with it, seeing if they can create some offense. 4 minutes to go in this first half, Hounds up big 21-0. So, Wayne County just trying to get anything they can right here, looking to try to put points on the board.
2nd and 13, same set. Dumford rolls out to the left. Now he'll dump it down into the flat.
There we go.
Tackled from behind in the backfield. Baker making a good play out in space back to the Cardinal 26.
Yeah, again,
21, sorry.
Yeah, again, just Brandon Baker right there. Like you said, Ronnie, making a really good tackle in space. And, Hounds now starting to dial it up, starting to kind of figure out this formation. And, Wayne County Cardinals definitely behind the chains right here. 3rd and 14, on the Hounds 21-yard line. So Hounds defense, Hounds up 21-0 right here, right before half, looking to try to get off the field right here on 3rd down.
Same set. for the Cardinals. Got the lineman out wide on the numbers. Dumford back to throw. Loads up and fires, trying to find the deep ball. Over his head and incomplete. Double coverage there from the Red Hound secondary. That's incomplete. Now 4th down for the Cardinals.
Yeah, again, really good job by the Hounds defense, recognizing what the Cardinals were trying to do. And, you try to go deep right there, but looked like the safety for the Hounds looked like number 10, Seth Mills, playing deep safety. And then number 15, the corner, Evan Poore, doing a really good job. Like you said, Ronnie, kind of bracketed in the receiver, not falling for any crazy plays right there, doing a good job to bat the ball down.
4th and long for the Cardinals at the Red Hound 21. Dumford back to pass, has some time, looking for the deep ball over the head of everybody, incomplete out of the back of the end zone. Red Hound defense holds on 4th down. Corbin going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 21 with 2:51 remaining in the half. Got a 21-0 lead right now is your score.
Yeah, 2:50 left before the halftime right there. And, Hounds just, it took them a little bit, 4, 5, 6 different first downs to kind of figure out the offense for the Cardinals, but doing a really, really good job right there. And now you turn the football over and give it back to the Hounds' high-powered offense, up 21-0 in the second quarter.
Official timeout on the field. Hounds break the huddle. 2:44. Corbin should have 2 timeouts remaining in their employ should they use it. Want to tack one more on before they go back to the locker room. Combs in the shotgun. Twin wideouts split out each side. Handoff going to go straight ahead to Huff. Barrels through a couple defenders. Finally brought to rest at the 27. Picks up about 5 or 6 on the up the middle run.
All right, yeah, and right there, Seth Huff taking it right up the middle. You setting up that run, looking to hit the big one. And, you think of Travion Longmire, one of the big weapons for the Hounds, leading the Hounds in receiving right there. 21 catches, 469 yards on the season.
Huff going to get the handoff again on 2nd down. Extends out to the 31. That's enough for the Red Hound 1st down. Only needed about 3 to convert. Got 4 or 5 on the carry.
Yeah, moving the chains right there. So 1st down Hounds, and Hounds again, really kind of, to me, Ronnie, setting up the big play right here.
1st and 10. Corbin going to remain in the gun. They're going to keep 4 wide on the field. Combs takes the snap. Now he sets the throw. Has time. Fires over the middle.
There we go.
Going to find his running back at the 50. At the 45, tackled down to the 42-yard line. Big pitch and catch there from Combs to Huff. The Hounds got the football down in Cardinal territory.
Yeah, again, the Hounds doing a great job, just kind of, like I said, setting up the play. You hit it the run, and then hit the pass down the middle. So Hounds offense really doing a great job.
No huddle. Huff going to get the call again. Busts a big run up the middle, throws the stiff arm at the 30. Takes 2 Cardinals to tackle him down at the 24-yard line. That's a good pickup there. Enough for another Red Hound 1st down.
Again, the Hounds moving fast right there. Again, you see Seth Huff, running behind that red big offensive line, the big Red Hound offensive line, doing a good job, making a couple people miss. And like you mentioned, Ronnie, always takes 2 or 3 guys to bring down Seth Huff. So Hounds really on the attack right here before halftime.
Minute 30 remaining, 2 timeouts. Corbin going with the 5 wide set. Comes back to throw, under pressure. Now he's just going to throw it away out of bounds. Probably going to get a grounding call there if they wish. They're going to be so kind not to.
That's right. Yeah, I think so. And again, even though you don't, fortunately for the Hounds, they don't get that grounding call. But again, another really good decision by Cam Combs, the quarterback for the Hounds. You don't see anything right off. You don't want to, put the ball in harm's way. And, just get rid of the football and live to fight another day right here on 2nd down.
2nd and 10. Corbin has it at the Wayne County 23-yard line. Quarterback draw up the gut. Lots of running.
There he goes.
Combs going to break the tackles inside the 5, fighting towards the end zone. Will not get in. Going to be tackled down at the Wayne County 3-yard line where the Hounds will operate 1st and goal.
Yeah, again, a minute left in this, first half, and the 3-headed monster on the attack. Seth Mills, Seth Huff, and Cam Combs. 1st down Hounds.
Combs in the gun, quick snap, hands off to Huff, makes a jump cut into the end zone for the touchdown.
There we go. Wow, I tell you what, you couldn't script it any better right there. You know, the Hounds attack on offense. You know, you get the stop on 4th down from the Cardinals, and then you just chunk it all the way down the field and then put another touchdown on the board right here with 1 minute remaining in the half. So Hounds up big right now, 27-0, 1 minute to go until halftime.
Baker on for his 4th extra point try of the evening. Snap is down, kick is up and away. He gets hit, no call, but it is good. 1 minute remaining in the first half. Corbin 28, Wayne County nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
I need 3 garlic butter bacon burgers.
Coming right up.
Will someone grab me some more cheese? Keep that garlic butter coming.
Burger up.
Order up. Sonic garlic butter bacon burger. I need a Mocha Crunch Blast, please. You got it.
I'm on the Mocha Fudge.
We're gonna need more espresso chunks.
Order up.
Sonic Mocha Crunch Blast.
Corbin looking prime for a postseason run, JB, looking sharp tonight.
Yeah, just looking really good. You know, you wonder how the Hounds are going to come out, and the Hounds come out and start fast right here.
Baker puts the toe to it, end over end kick, going to land at the Wayne County 5, up to the 10, up to the 20. Not anymore. Going to be tripped up from behind. I think that's Brandon Baker out in space. He's having a good ball game tonight.
Yeah, a really good ball game. And, you know, you look at the stats right there. Mikey Neal, the tackling leader for the Hounds, but Brandon Baker, like you just mentioned, right behind him, you know, with 69 tackles coming into this football game. So Hounds special teams, again, don't disappoint right there, setting up the defense, you know, with 53 seconds right before the half. So Hounds up big 28-0 right here before the half. You know, you want to reset right here. Make sure you don't give up any big plays to the Wayne County Cardinals offense right here.
Dumford going to open up in the shotgun, twin wideouts each way. Sets in the pocket to fire to the right side. Good catch over on the Red Hound sideline. Got it up to the 30. Might be close to a first down depending on the spot. Can't hardly tell from here. Looks like they're going to keep it 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, I think so. You know, the Cardinals resetting right here, you know, but moving fast, of course, towards halftime, but a really good pitch and catch by the Cardinals.
Dumford rolls to the right. Now he's going to keep it himself, going to be tracked down from behind. Might have got a yard or two. That's all he needed for the first down. Clock will stop with 23 seconds remaining.
Yeah, maybe a couple right there, but looked like Carter Sevier, number 42 for the Hounds defense, you know, playing that left defensive end spot, does a great job to make the hit.
Wayne County going to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. We only have 23 seconds before we take it into the halftime break. Wayne County, I think they have 2 timeouts remaining on the half. Corbin 28, Wayne County nothing. Winner of tonight's contest going to play the winner of Lincoln and Knox Central. Lincoln took it to the Panthers 21-10 up in Barberville a couple weeks ago, but Lincoln County, of course, gave Corbin its toughest game of the season, as they often do.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Lincoln County, you know, we like to, you know, talk about the football game, a 4-quarter football game for the Hounds against Lincoln County. So, you know, if the Hounds are able to prevail tonight, you know, in this football game, probably going to end up with Lincoln County right here at Campbell Field. So Hounds need to be dialed in, ready to go, and ready to play 4 quarters against Lincoln County.
Cardinals out of the huddle very quickly on the timeout break. They're going to spread the field with 4 wide receivers. Dumford in the shotgun. Receives the snap, now sets the throw. Fires down the sideline, over his head, incomplete. Good coverage from Poor out in space. Clock will stop with 17 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Poor doing a great job right there. It looked like Carter Sevier in a line stunt up front trying to get pressure on Dunford. But, Evan Poor doing a great job in coverage, not letting the receiver get behind him, in space right there, and doing a great job. So, again, Hounds, 17 seconds left until halftime. You just want to get out of the half, keep that 0 on the board and, control this football game.
4 wide for Dunford on second down. Sits in the pocket. Hounds rush 4. Fires a bomb over the middle. Has a receiver. Think that one's going to be picked off. No, it is incomplete. Falls to the turf. Almost hauled in by Brody Wells on the interception. No one comes up with it as the ball goes harmless to the turf. Incomplete with 8 seconds remaining in the second half.
Wow, really exciting right there. The Hounds had a bunch of guys in coverage, 3 or 4 back deep right there, but Dunford, he's, like I said a minute ago, the one-man gang. He can run it, and he can definitely rear back and throw it right there. And, a really, really good play defensively for the Hounds secondary, to bat the ball down. So right here, third down for the Cardinals.
3rd and 10, trips formation for Dunford. Fires over the middle, almost intercepted into the house. Brody Wells steps in front of that pass, can't haul it in. Now brings up 4th down with 4 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and you said it best right there. If Brody Wells, catches that football, he's running towards the popcorn stand right there. A really good job, by Brody Wells playing defense. And, the Hounds, again, 4th down right here, 4 seconds left, in this first half.
Back-to-back pass breakups for Wells. Cardinals going to go for it. Of course, they are with 4 seconds remaining. Dunford back to throw, loads up. Now he's going to have to reset his feet. Now he's going to keep it himself. Got the 40 at the 50. Going to be upended at the 45-yard line. That's going to end the half. So first half of play in the books. Your score, Corbin 28, Wayne County nothing. We'll be back in 3 minutes. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Dreaming about enjoying time on the lake but need a boat? Or planning a road trip but not sure which RV is right for you and your family? Wildcat RV and Marine can help. With our selection of Keystone and Crossroads RVs and Mercury Low boats, we can get you in the great outdoors. We're a family-owned RV and Marine dealer with professionally trained sales and service departments. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect RV or boat and keep it on the road or in the water. Wildcat RV and Marine, just off I-75 in Corbin, or online at wildcatrvandmarine.com.
If you're looking for a better night's sleep, Sammy's Furniture has the perfect mattress for you. Whether it's combining the support of an innerspring mattress with the comfort of memory foam with a Sealy Hybrid, or the all-night cooling of the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, or the unparalleled design and craftsmanship of a Stearns & Foster, Sammy's Furniture is here to help you find a mattress that won't break your back or your budget. That's Sammy's Furniture and Sleep Shop, open 7 days a week. Visit our store to find your perfect mattress today.
Hello, I'm Dr. Deidre Pennington, and I invite you to discover the difference at Pennington Wellness, Chiropractic, and Massage. We offer digital x-ray with instant imaging for the most specific solution to your problem. The Atlas orthogonal technique offers a gentle and precise adjustment with no twisting of the neck or spine. Pennington Wellness has a friendly staff and relaxing spa-like atmosphere.
Trust our Grammy.
We do.
We've all been there, out and about, and you see someone and you just can't seem to remember their name. This happens to just about all of us, but it shouldn't with your doctor. Today, it is so convenient to see a provider who doesn't know your name, let alone your medical history. Your family needs a primary care provider who knows you and meets all of your family's needs. Jane's Family Practice is now open and located on Master Street in Corbin. Stop in for school physicals, women's care, men's health screenings, regular checkups, and when you just aren't feeling your best. Call and schedule an appointment today with Jane's Family Practice at 280-4000. That's 280-4000.
Appalachian Wireless and Samsung introduced the smartphone that everyone is flipping over, the Z Flip 3. Looking for something that stands out in the crowd amongst regular smartphones? Then the Z Flip 3 is the device for you. On the region's best service, Appalachian Wireless. The Z Flip 3 is an actual flip phone that, when opened, reveals a stunning 6.7-inch touchscreen for the best of both worlds. It's compact, powerful, and the most unique smartphone in the world. Get more information at AppalachianWireless.com. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
What's up, y'all? This is Chase Rice hanging outdoors with an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know, it's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. For one thing, there's a rack on your car and a hitch on the back of your truck. There's a garage full of toys from wakeboards to dirt bikes. And there's a cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out and do, hit the lake or the deer stand, a cooler of Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your four-wheeler or your fishing rod. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
Campbell Field, Hounds up big, 28-0 over the Wayne County Cardinals here at the halftime break. JB, what's going on out in Red Hound Nation?
Yeah, out in Red Hound Nation, again, we want to remind you guys out there in Red Hound Nation, tomorrow the Corbin Middle School football team, the 8th grade, is headed to East Jessamine High School, playing Taylor County in the semifinals of the Kentucky Middle School football playoffs at 6:30 tomorrow night. So, if you're not doing anything, ain't got anything going on a Saturday evening, come out and support, the Hounds, the 8th grade Hounds. Last year, the Hounds defending state champions, 9-0, and this year so far, the season 12-0, so have won 21 straight games as an 8th grade football team. So come out tomorrow, 6:30, East Jessamine High School, Hounds versus Taylor County, and support the middle school football Hounds.
There you have it. Also, shout out to Coach Jones.
That's right.
Tuning us in on the radio, dialing home. Thanks for dialing us in, Coach.
Yeah, love Coach Jones. That's right. That's right.
We're at the halftime break. We've got about 11 minutes till the Hounds retake the field. We'll come back for more commercial sponsor time. When we come back, we'll go over halftime stats and give you previews, maybe some scores across the state and what we're looking at the playoff run for the rest of the season. Again, at halftime, your score, Corbin 28, Wayne County 0. We'll be back in 5 minutes. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mi Casa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mi Casa of Corbin.
Hometown Bank is proud of their name because Hometown Bank is proud of the hometowns they're in. In fact, their name is their mission, which is to take care of the communities in which they work and live. Hometown Bank is always here to help, so if you're buying a house, remodeling your kitchen, or need a home equity loan to combine other debt, come see Hometown Bank and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you've been in business since 1954, you have to be doing something right. At Owens Auto Repair, they believe in honesty, service, and that hard work can still get you somewhere. Owens offers a complete line of truck and auto parts, as well as their custom-made hydraulic hoses, weather guard toolboxes, utility beds, and Sherwin-Williams auto paint. They also offer auto repair for cars, trucks, and RVs, and of course have top name brand tires. And they do towing and recovery. Owens Auto Repair, located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway.
Our world has dramatically changed over the past couple of years. We've all had to adjust to these changing times. But one thing has not changed is the fact that the Hart family and Tri-County Cycle Sales is still serving southeastern Kentucky with the same quality products and service after the sale since 1968. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Polaris are the biggest names in off-road adventure and still can be found at Tri-County Cycle Sales. For your next ATV or side-by-side, stop by the place where time has stood still. Tri-County Cycle Sales, located between Corbin and London on US 25 across from Kentucky Outdoorsman.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means two things: hunting season and it's football time in the bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on US Highway 25 between Corbin and London, next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
I need a Mocha Crunch Blast, please. You got it.
I'm on the Mocha Fudge.
We're gonna need more espresso chunks.
Order up.
Sonic Mocha Crunch Blast.
Would you rather eat in the car or eat at the dinner table at home?
Rather eat in the car.
You can turn on some tunes, dancing, eating. You know how weird we'd look if we did this at the kitchen table?
Sonic Wacky Pack.
Right now, we just having a good time.
Dreaming about enjoying time on the lake but need a boat? Or planning a road trip but not sure which RV is right for you and your family? Wildcat RV and Marine can help. With our selection of Keystone and Crossroads RVs and Mercury Low boats, we can get you in the great outdoors. We're a family-owned RV and marine dealer with professionally trained sales and service departments. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect RV or boat and keep it on the road or in the water. Wildcat RV and Marine, just off I-75 in Corbin, or online at wildcatrvandmarine.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. Deidre Pennington, and I invite you to discover the difference at Pennington Wellness, Chiropractic, and Massage. We offer digital x-ray with instant imaging for the most specific solution to your problem. The Atlas orthogonal technique offers a gentle and precise adjustment with no twisting of the neck or spine. Pennington Wellness offers a family-friendly atmosphere.
Trust our Grammy. We do!
If you're looking for a better night's sleep, Sammy's Furniture has the perfect mattress for you. Whether it's combining the support of an innerspring mattress with the comfort of memory foam with a Sealy hybrid, or the all-night cooling of the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, or the unparalleled design and craftsmanship of a Stearns & Foster, Sammy's Furniture is here to help you find a mattress that won't break your back or your budget. That's Sammy's Furniture and Sleep Shop, open 7 days a week. Visit our store to find your perfect mattress today.
We've all been there, out and about, and you see someone and you just can't seem to remember their name. This happens to just about all of us, but it shouldn't with your doctor. Today, it is so convenient to see a provider who doesn't know your name, let alone your medical history. Your family needs a primary care provider who knows you and meets all of your family's needs. Jane's Family Practice is now open and located on Master Street in Corbin. Stop in for school physicals, women's care, men's health screenings, regular checkups, and when you just aren't feeling your best. Call and schedule an appointment today with Jane's Family Practice at 280-4000. That's 280-4000.
Corbin up big, 28-0 over the visiting Wayne County Cardinals. Round one of the Class 4A playoffs. Corbin looking to punch their card into the second round, into the next wave of opponents. They're well on their way, this 28-0 score. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Looking at halftime stats right now. Good outing from Cam Combs, 7 of 9, 127 yards through the air, a couple touchdowns through the air. Mills hauled in 2 for 51 yards. One was a 34-yard touchdown. Curry's hauled in 3 on 4 targets for 35 yards. He had a 10-yard touchdown as well. Elam, Cade Elam,
That's right.
backup quarterback, hauled in 1 for 3. Stewart had 1 for 21 yards, and Huff had 1 for 27 yards. On the ground, Combs has carried the ball 5 times for 40 yards. Huff's 9 carries, 79 yards, 2 scores on the night. There was one on the ground, 2.
Yep.
1 through the air, 2 on the ground. Sorry.
Yep.
Longmire, 1 catch for 6 yards and 1 rush. That was actually a jet sweep. 1 for 6 for 6 yards and a touchdown. And Mills, 2 carries, 21 yards on the ground. Of course, Corbin pitching the shutout defensively and has an interception on the evening. So complete total performance from this Corbin unit tonight. They won the first matchup 42-0, well on their way, doing so here again tonight.
Yeah, just total domination by the Hounds, offensively, defensively, special teams, all 3 phases. And, you look at the stats right there. Cam Combs, like you said, Ronnie, 7 for 9, just being really efficient with the football, like we said, he makes great decisions with the football, 7 for 9, 127 yards. And then you look at the list there, just going down all the weapons that the Hounds have at their disposal offensively. You got Seth Mills, Seth Huff, creating things in the running game as well as a passing game. And then, you need a big play. You get the football to Travion Longmire, and, he can go the distance from anywhere on the field. So, a really good job by the Hounds offensively. And then, you look at the defensive side of the football, a big 0 on the board. So, like you said, Coach Greer, Coach Elam, and the Hound staff just doing a great job, in this first playoff game towards Kroger Field to set the tone early, do a great job, offensively, defensively, special teams, all 3 phases, to kind of set the Hounds up. And again, no injuries. A big thing that the Hounds want to do is get out of here in this first round, have no injuries tonight to speak of. So, get guys healed up, a couple guys on, not playing tonight on the injured front. So get those guys geared up and, having that first week or 2, to move through the season. So, move through the playoffs. So really good job, really good start by the Hounds tonight.
Hounds need a good start. They got no favors.
That's right.
None. in the
Yes.
RPI. I mean, 0%. You might as well have gone 0-10.
That's right.
And this is why the RPI system is such a garbage system. But Corbin, 10-0.
Yes. Perfect.
Beat a
Perfect.
defending state champ. They beat at the time number 1 Franklin County.
Yes.
They surge ahead. They cruise through district play. They've beaten teams by more margin than anyone in the state
That's
of
right.
Kentucky.
That's
They've
right.
scored more points. They've given up the least amount of points.
That's right.
They've played a multitude of 6A schools. What's your reward? Nothing.
Yes.
Nothing.
That's right.
You get the number 3 in the RPI because the KHSAA hasn't figured out how to classify playing out-of-state opponents. You could play the Jellicoe Blue Devils.
That's right.
Get yourself a point. You can play the defending state champs out of North Carolina, get yourself 1 point. And that's what Corbin got.
That's right.
But let's assume all that's true. Boyle County finishes first in RPI. Lexington Catholic, who is in the same district by rule, your district opponents played in the first 2 rounds. They're number 2
That's right.
in the RPI. So logically, you would think Corbin would get the number 1 seed in the opposite bracket. No. They get the 3 seed on this side of the bracket.
How
what
does
kind of
it happen?
sense does that make? So
That's
looking
right.
ahead in the playoffs, here's your road to Kroger Field. They make it to Kroger Field. They deserve it.
That's right.
Corbin plays tonight, Wayne County. Next week, they play the winner of Lincoln and Knox Central. Lincoln's up Knox Central 28-14 at the half right now. They make it through there. They play Johnson Central, probably. That bracket's Johnson Central, Clay County, Letcher County Central, and Perry County Central. Johnson Central, I think, is coming out of that bracket.
I think so.
Playing Johnson Central here at home, then go on the road to play the winner of Boyle County and Lexington Catholic.
Wow.
What kind of favor is that?
Exactly.
I mean, what nonsense is that? But that's the bracket Corbin's facing, and they have done them no favors, has the KHSAA, in terms of making up a bracket, probably about as much malpractice as you can come when it comes to drafting a fair postseason play.
Yeah, exactly. And, you look at, like you was talking, Ronnie, Johnson Central probably setting the Hounds up in that 3rd round, the team that beat the Hounds out last year, So, and then you look at, like you talk about, the RPI, you talk about the schedule. What do the Hounds do to set themselves up? Well, they need to go 10-0. Well, they do that, like you just said.
Yeah,
and
there's no reason to.
Exactly.
We basically we're playing as if we're a 6 seed.
Exactly.
Right
So, just a tough break right there. So, you get those first couple of games right here at Campbell Field, but and probably the 3rd game as well. But, like you said, no favors for the Hounds. And you bring Johnson Central in here, that 3rd game. Hounds got to be ready to go. And then more than likely.
That's a great team.
Yeah, a great football team. And
it matches up really well with this Corbin team.
That's right. The Hounds like to spread it. The Johnson Central likes to pound the football. So, and then the next week, you get past Johnson Central right here at Campbell Field, you got to go on the road. So you're exactly right. The Hounds, like you said, no favors at all, and you think you're 10-0, you're going to have a lot of good things go your way. But Hounds, Coach Greer, Coach Elam, they got to buckle up their chin strap and get ready to play tough football after tonight's football game. So, Hounds need to get ready. Hopefully, this score holds 28-0 at halftime against the Wayne County Cardinals, and then you move on to the 2nd round. You got to buckle up that chin strap for 4 games to get to Kroger Field. And like you said, Ronnie, if they get there, they're definitely the best football team in 4A football.
And I hope I'm wrong, but I'm looking at the bracket, and that's just the way it reads to me.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's the way it reads to me, folks. I am open. I'm getting blown up on the text wire right now
That's
that
right.
you're wrong. Go on KHSAA.org right now. Look at your brackets. Tell if you read it any different than me. That's the way I read it.
That's right.
That's the way it's printed to me.
That's right. And if we're wrong, that's a good thing.
I hope I'm wrong, but that
yes.
looks wrong.
Yes.
And if that is the bracket Corbin drew, I'd happy to be wrong. If that's the bracket Corbin drew, there's no sense in going 10-0.
That's right. Yeah, 10-0. What do you get? And you just described it right there. So yeah, exactly. I hope you are wrong, but more than likely, that's the way it's going to set up. So Hounds again, rolling through this 1st round. But then after that, we talked about the 4-quarter football game the Hounds had to play against the Lincoln County Patriots. So next week you better buckle it up and you better settle in for 4 straight weeks of tough football for the Red Hounds.
The only thing, and this is a rule that I've always gotten wrong, so don't take this with a grain of salt, but they may adjust the final 4 teams. based on RPI strength. So
that
there's
would be a
chance
good
that
thing.
Corbin would stay at home.
Yeah.
To win, I mean, I've listed off the teams Corbin needs to beat or eventually play anyway.
Right.
It's immaterial.
Yes.
At this point. But playing Johnson Central at home in the third round, I think is the scariest proposition for this football team.
I think so. You know, like you said, you know, Johnson Central, the team that put the Hounds out last year, and they're a big, big physical team. You know, like to run the football, of course, and so the Hounds like to spread the football. So two teams that kind of clash a little bit, and you know, you hope the Hounds will, you know, put the gas pedal down, you know, force the issue, throw the football, put the ball in the air, and kind of play Red Hound football. But again, you know, Johnson Central, again, just going to be a tough matchup, you know, in that third or fourth week, however that plays out for the Red Hounds.
Count you down to second half action right now. Teams are on the field and warming up. We're about 60 seconds till we kick it back off here at Campbell Field. Your score, Corbin 28, Wayne 0, excuse me. We'll be back in 60. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Appalachian Wireless and Samsung introduced the smartphone that everyone is flipping over, the Z Flip 3. Looking for something that stands out in the crowd amongst regular smartphones? Then the Z Flip 3 is the device for you. On the region's best service, Appalachian Wireless. The Z Flip 3 is an actual flip phone that, when opened, reveals a stunning 6.7-inch touchscreen for the best of both worlds. It's compact, powerful, and the most unique smartphone in the world. Get more information at AppalachianWireless.com. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
What's up, y'all? This is Chase Rice hanging outdoors with an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know, it's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. For one thing, there's a rack on your car and a hitch on the back of your truck. There's a garage full of toys from wakeboards to dirt bikes. And there's a cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out and do, you know, hit the lake or the deer stand, a cooler of Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your four-wheeler or your fishing rod. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
Second half action underway here at Campbell Field. Right out of the break, your score, Corbin 28, Wayne County nothing. First round of the playoffs. Again, our halftime prognostication has been under review right
That's
now.
That's right, yeah.
It's good to know people are listening.
That's right, that's
you
awesome.
want to know if they are, you
That's
just
right.
put out a hot take.
That's right. That's good.
Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett bringing you Red Hound football tonight here on T107, T1073.com. Baker on to kick it away. Lone line drive kick. Going to careen towards the end zone. Lands right at the goal line and rolls out of the back for the touchback. That's where Wayne County will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, again, another kick by Jacob Baker, you know, just, with a touchback, pinning the Cardinals deep. So Hounds defense coming out of the second half right here, up big 28-0. And, again, just looking to set the tone for the second half and, you know, get out of this football game, that's for sure. So, again, we see big Joe Brown up in there. Carter Sevier, Joe Brown, the defensive ends, look like number 55 in there as well. Sean Brummett. And then number 56, Troy Faulkner up front in the front four for the Hounds.
1st and 10, Dumford opens up in the shotgun with twin wideouts each way, going to hand it off across the right side. He surges ahead up to about the 22-yard line, a couple yards there off right tackle.
Yeah, just a couple yards up front, and looks like getting off the pile. Looks like Zane Hammock, number 37, and then looked like number 42, Carter Sevier, doing a great job up front for the Hounds defensive line. So, you know, second down right here. You know, again, look for the Hounds. Keep the Cardinals behind the chains. Keep the quarterback Antoine Dunford having to throw the football in 3rd and long. So right here, bringing up second down for the Cardinals.
2nd and 7. Dumford remains in the shotgun. Florida formation for the Cardinals. This play is going to be blown dead. I don't think they're going to blow it dead. They're going to call it a false start. I don't think one of the linemen was set out wide. I don't think they were correctly set anyways.
Yeah, I think so, and that's a tough formation. You know, you can see on the live stream there and the TV broadcast, that's a tough formation for anybody to line up in. And right there, the Cardinals of Wayne County kind of gets a little bit confused and gets the penalty, but not many penalties tonight. Actually, just one each. So one penalty on the Hounds, one penalty on the Cardinals. So penalty-free game for both teams so far tonight.
2nd down. Wayne County goes back into a traditional set, trips to the left. Dumford rolls into those trips. Now he's going to look to keep it. Might get a couple yards on the scramble up to his own 27-yard line. Picks up about 4 on the quarterback keeper now brings up third down.
Yeah, again, third down, kind of behind the chains a little bit. Mikey Neal comes up, Hounds tackling leader, a freshman. We've talked about Mikey Neal all season long. A freshman right there leading the Hounds in tackles. So Mikey Neal going to be that Mike linebacker for the rest of this season and, of course, for the next 3 years. So Hounds sitting really good at the Mike linebacker position.
Florida formation for the Cardinals. Only 3 linemen in the box. Dunford takes the snap, now rolls to his right, fires to his right. No running room there. He's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Baker. Good stop there, and the Red Hound defense holds, brings up fourth down.
Wow, just a good job. Really good reaction there by Brandon Baker, to see the plays create, see the play develop, and then come in there at that great angle and make the hit. Really, knocking the Wayne County Cardinals behind the chains. So big job by Brandon Baker. Hounds look to get the ball in really good field position right here.
Dunford on in punt formation. Mills standing on the Wayne County 45-yard line. High snap. Dunford corrals it, puts the toe to it. Knuckleball style kick. Going to land and take a Red Hound roll. Be killed at the 40-yard line of Wayne County. That's where Corbin will start their first drive of the second half. We got 1 score and a 2-point conversion away from making this running clock.
Yeah, almost a running clock right here. Hounds, look to attack, and the Hounds playing on one side of the football field right here early in this third quarter with a big lead, 28-0 over the Cardinals. So look for Coach Elam, the offensive coordinator for the Hounds, to try to attack the defense of the Cardinals, get this big lead, get that clock moving, and see if the Hounds can get out of the first round of the playoffs.
1st and 10 at the Cardinal 40. Combs in the gun with trips to his right. Longmire, the 1 wide receiver, to the left. Cardinals showing blitz. Combs sets in the pocket to throw. Tries to find Longmire down the left side, in and out of his hands, and incomplete. He had the DB beat for the touchdown. Couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
Yeah, again, right there, Travion, just, on that goal route, right down the numbers on the left side. And, Cam Combs trying to deliver the football. And, like you said, Ryan, just a little bit long right there for Travion. But, great to see the Hounds come out right there after the great field position on first down, take a shot, and attack the Wayne County Cardinal defense. So good job by Coach Elam to attack right there.
2nd down. Huff comes in the game at running back. Mills also in as well. Mills going to get the call across the right side. Cuts through the defense now. He's up to the 30.
There he goes.
Got the first down, got more, lowers the shoulder at the 25-yard line. Fights ahead to the 21. Big gainer there. About 19 yards on the carry. That's more than enough for the Red Hound first down.
Yeah, just another good run right there. Seth Mills, takes the ball. You look like he's going to get 5 yards or whatever right there, and then makes a couple guys miss, a couple Cardinals defenders miss, gets to the outside, puts the gas pedal down, and, gets the first down. So really good job by Seth Mills to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the Cardinal 21. Cardinals showing blitz. 5 standing at the line. Another linebacker walking up and approaching. Combs is going to make some audibles here. He's got twin wideouts to the right, 1 to the left, a running back flanking him on either side. Back to pass, sets the throw, under pressure, rolls to the right. Now fires over the middle of the field, almost intercepted. Incomplete, though. Trying to find Huff out of the backfield, can't hook up. Incomplete, now 3rd down.
Yeah, again, Cam Combs doing a really good job right there, buying time, extending the play, kind of rolls out to the right, and looking for Travion deep on the left side, not there, and then tries to go to Seth Huff, the check down. But, again, like you said, Ronnie, almost intercepted, but, the Hounds on 2nd and 10 here live to fight another day.
2nd and 10, or 3rd down, Huff going to keep it on the ground on 3rd down. He's going to drag Cardinals with him. We'll see where the final spot is. He's close to first down yardage. I believe he got it. Indication is that he did.
Yeah, again, and what a luxury right there. I mean, you get behind the chains, and all you have to do is turn around and hand it to a running back, and he's going to get 10-plus yards. So, again, the Hounds, you look at Seth Huff, you look at Seth Mills, the running back for the Hounds, they both average over 10 yards a carry. So, anytime you want just a 10-yard gain, turn around and hand the ball to Seth Huff, Seth Mills, they'll get you 10 yards, move the chains.
1st and goal. Same formation. Play action. Combs in the pocket. Fires over the middle. Great catch in the end zone for the touchdown. He finds Mills out of the backfield for 6. Second receiving touchdown for Mills.
Yeah, really good job right there again. Cam Combs just setting up, fires the ball in there, and makes a great catch right there. So, again, just gets the Hounds, really doing a good job up front, offensive line, setting the tone. And, the Hounds respond right there. Get the 3 and out early from the Wayne County Cardinals, get the football back, and go right down and score to extend the lead to 34-0 right here in the third quarter.
Hounds going to go for 2 here. Once you get that 36-point lead mark, that bell does not unring. You're in running clock territory. Trips to the right, running back on either side. Unusual formation. Going to be a quarterback draw up the gut. He is not going to make it. Actually slings it out of the back of the end zone. Don't know if that's a fumble or incomplete. Either way, it's not a conversion there, so no good on the 2-point try. 8:12 remaining in the third. Corbin 34. Wayne 0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107. Yes.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mi Casa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mi Casa of Corbin.
8:12 remaining in the third quarter. Corbin 34, Wayne County 0. We're going to retract back. Apparently there will be a reseed late in the playoffs. Still not the point, though. Corbin should not be a 3 seed.
That's right.
The RPI system is broken. You can't go 10-0 and be a 3 seed when a team above you lost to a 2A team. It makes no sense. It's
exactly.
ridiculous.
How does that work? That's right.
It doesn't.
That's right.
Baker on to kick it away for Corbin. 34-0 your score. End over end kick going to head towards the end zone. It lands and fielded in just past the goal line. That's for the touchback. Wayne County will start on their own 20-yard line. Yeah, JB, I mean, the point is, and I don't read all those rules, obviously. I've been corrected. I don't care to admit when I'm wrong. The thrust of the argument is this. You can play Cincinnati Elder. You can play De La Salle, California. You can play Hoover, Alabama.
Whoever you want to put in there.
You get the same point total if you play Jellicoe Blue Devils.
That's right.
No difference in the world.
That's crazy, isn't it? I mean,
and you've got teams above you with losses to smaller teams.
That's right.
They're jumping you in the RPI. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
it doesn't make sense.
Corbin should be the 1 seed in Class 4A football. That's a point I don't think anybody can intelligently argue against.
I don't think you could. That's right.
Dumford opens up in the shotgun on his own 20-yard line. Back to pass, has some time, loads up and fires. It's a high-hanging ball over the head of the intended receiver. Incomplete, trying to hook up with his wide receiver, Mason Burchett, out in space. Cannot do so. Poor there. Good coverage for Corbin.
Yeah, again, we saw Evan Poor, and it looked like Seth Mills right there over the top, the safety over the top for the Hounds. But, a lot of times you think, well, will the Hounds defense kind of fall asleep and, maybe, let something slip right there. But Evan Poor does a great job getting over the top of the receiver, playing the receiver, doing a great job. And, Seth Mills, the safety, coming over the top as well. So Hounds defense just playing outstanding tonight. 2nd and 10.
Corbin showing blitz, and they bring it. Handoff up the gut. Wow, he gets crushed at the line of scrimmage. He got a yard. He deserves every inch of it.
Yes, exactly right there. And looked like number 76, Jace Hatfield, the freshman, closed the door in a hurry. And you're right, Ronnie. A guy runs up in there and takes a big hit like that. Give him every inch. So brings up a 3rd down. Again, the Cardinals behind the chains to the Hounds defense right here.
I'd be saying don't give me the ball anymore.
That's right. That's right.
Throw it to me out in space. 3rd and long. Cardinals struggling to move the football here early. Corbin brings a big rush. He's going to try to keep it himself. He's getting nowhere.
There we go.
Sacked in the backfield for a loss. A host of Red Hounds converge on him.
Yeah, just a lot of Hounds right there, just pinning their ears back. You get the 3rd and long, and, you pin your ears back, you go get the quarterback. So, again, a tough play right there by the Hounds defense, creating this 4th and long for the Wayne County Cardinals. 7 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, Hounds up big, 34-0. And, probably going to get the football back in really good field position, looking to, put some more points on the board and get this clock running.
Wayne County's keeping the offense on the field. So one score away from running clock. They're going to gun it out here at probably the end of their season. Dumford fires over the middle, in and out of his hands, and incomplete, broken up, out in space. Good defense from the Hounds. They're going to take over 1st and 10 at the Wayne County 19.
Yeah, and a really good sign right there. Just looking out on the field, Ronnie, number 9, Bryson back in the football game. So, he had that injury a few weeks ago, so good to see number 9, Bryson back in the football game for the Hounds, kind of playing, a little bit of that rover position. But, Hounds really sitting in good position right here, right about, like you said, Ronnie, their own 19-yard line. And, the Hounds do a great job, again, getting off the field on 3rd down and then on 4th down and then put points on the board to get the clock running.
Didn't notice back in action. That's a good sign for this Red Hound defense. They get deeper on that side of the ball. Elam's in at quarterback. Handoff going to go to Gregory across the left side. He's still breaking tackles.
There he goes.
Still bringing Cardinals with him down to the 10-yard line. Picks up about 8 or 9 on the carry.
Yeah, really good run right there. Again,
Huff.
it's Huff right there. Yeah, in between the tackles. And, we've seen, Gregory run the football like that as well. So, but, yeah, Seth Huff right there, just in between the tackles, taking the handoff, moving the football. Again, every time Seth Mills touches the football, you're almost guaranteed with their average 10 yards. So, really good play right there by the Hounds offense to get this drive started.
2nd and 2, Elam in the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. He resets Huff to the left. Elam back to pass, has time, now steps up in the pocket, going to keep it himself, makes a defender miss, surges ahead down to the 5-yard line. That's enough for the Red Hound 1st down. They'll have it 1st and goal at the Cardinal 5.
Yeah, and a great decision right there. We've talked all night long and all season long how great decisions that Cam Combs makes at the quarterback position. Well, we see the freshman Cade Elam make a great decision as well. Nobody open downfield. He tucks the football and runs it, moves the chains for the Hounds, 1st and goal right here. So, again, Hounds offense on the attack to get that clock running.
1st and goal from the Cardinal 5. Elam remains in the shotgun. Cardinals show blitz. Play action, fires over the middle, broken up. Ball in the air. Did he intercept that? Can't get a call there on the field. Cardinal came up with the football, but I think it hit the turf first. They're going to call it incomplete on the field.
Yeah, I think so. It almost looked like he did come up with it, but you're right, Ronnie. I think the official's going to mark that ball incomplete. So, again, Hounds get to reset right here on 2nd down. And, again, 5 minutes to go this 3rd quarter. Hounds up big, 34-0. And, again, looking to get that clock running. No injuries so far tonight. A good sign for the Hounds in all 3 phases.
2nd down. Handoff goes to Huff across the right side. He's making defenders miss. He's still fighting for the pylon.
There he goes.
Not going to get in there. He's close. 2nd effort. He's going to punch it in there for the touchdown.
Wow.
Great individual effort. Out of the backfield from Huff, in there for 6.
I tell you, Seth Huff is fun to watch. We thought he was stacked up over there. Not his specialty. If you had to pick an attribute for Seth Huff, he's not going to make a lot of people miss. But when he lowers that shoulder and fights to the end zone, that's what he does. So, man, I tell you, Seth Huff, like you said, great run, and gets the Hounds another touchdown right there.
Baker on for the extra point try. We've passed the 36-point margin either way. Snap is down, kick is up and away. No good. I think he got hit as he let it go, but either way, your score. 5:01 left in the 3rd. Corbin 40, Wayne County nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Thank you.
Hometown Bank is proud of their name because Hometown Bank is proud of the hometowns they're in. In fact, their name is their mission, which is to take care of the communities in which they work and live. Hometown Bank is always here to help, so if you're buying a house, remodeling your kitchen, or need a home equity loan to combine other debt, come see Hometown Bank and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Being running clock after this kickoff for the remainder of the contest. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Baker on to kick it away. High end over end kick, going to drive towards the end zone. It's going to sail out of the back. That came close to being good on the uprights.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lucky to kick 120 yards. He kicks it into almost through the uprights from the kickoff. So, my goodness, I mean, again, we talked about it earlier in the season, but just Jacob Baker, if not one of the best kickers in the state of Kentucky. So, just making it look easy right there. I mean, my goodness, just a good job again. Another touchback, and sets the Hounds defense up right here, against the Cardinals.
Dunford on the field, 1st and 10 from his own 20. Back to pass. Has some time. Now he's going to tuck it and run it himself. Going to be sacked in the backfield. Can't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to lose a yard there.
Yeah, again, Mikey Neal, the tackling leader for the Hounds, the Mike linebacker, just making the hit, just reading Dunford almost like in a spy position. But, again, just having fun now. The Hounds, almost defense, almost just teeing off right here on the Wayne County Cardinals.
Clock again. We're in running clock. Corbin 40, Wayne nothing. It was 42-0 in the regular season meeting between these squads. Lots of time remaining tonight. Dunford in the shotgun on 2nd down. Sets the throw. Fires down the right sideline. Got a receiver deep. Almost made a one-handed grab. Can't quite haul it in. Incomplete. Now 3rd and long for this Wayne County offense.
Yeah, and again, Evan Poore doing a really good job right there. Backpedal, and then he turns and runs, doing a good job. But you're right, Ron. Almost a big play right there for the Cardinals. But again, Evan Poore right there with the receiver, in one-on-one coverage. So, brings up a 3rd down, and that clock really ticking right now. Hounds up big 40-0 in this 3rd quarter.
3rd down. Wayne County went for it. Same spot, a drive ago. So 4-down territory for sure. Hounds bringing the blitz on 3rd and long. They'll get to him in the backfield for the sack. Dunford taking a beating here at the end of the football game.
Yeah, again, getting that 3rd and long, Hounds just kind of teeing off and, bringing the blitz right there. Brandon Baker, Jace Hatfield closing in. And the Hounds right there, in a 3-man front, the 3 defensive look right there, 3 defensive lineman look, and just, bringing the heat and trying to put pressure on Dunford, and the Hounds deliver right there. So, again, 4th down, looks like Dunford ready to punt the football. And Hounds, again, going to, kind of play this whole 3rd quarter, on one side of the football field right here.
2 minutes. His clock continues to dwindle downward. Dunford receives the punt for the snap. Kicks it away. End over end kick going to land at the 40. Take a bit of a Wayne County bounce up to the 44-yard line. That's where Corbin will take over 1st and 10. Looks like Corbin may be subbing down offensively now to end the football game.
Yeah, it looks like it. I see looks like number 32 for the Hounds, Gregory coming in, and that's number 32, Ethan Gregory, at the running back position. So, and again, we'll get you those numbers as they come in. But, Hounds subbing in right there, K.D. Lamont at quarterback. So, Hounds looking to close this football game out right here.
Elam opens up in the shotgun, running back flanking him on either side. Handoff. Going to go to Gregory across the left side. He'll surge forward for a pickup of a couple.
Yeah, a couple yards in there. Ethan Gregory, has had a really good season as well. You look at the numbers right there. Ethan Gregory, 42 carries, 271 yards, a couple touchdowns. So Ethan Gregory gets a football in his hands. He can make things happen. Looks like number 76, Jace Hatfield, in up front for the Hounds offensive line. Brady White, number 62, 58, Peyton Warren in there as well. So bunch of Hounds up there getting a lot of good reps here on Friday night.
Elam takes the snap. Now he fires out into the flat in the right. Incomplete. Gregory takes a shot after failing to haul in that pass. Brings up 3rd and about 8.
Yeah, tough break right there. Just a little swing route out to Ethan Gregory, but Gregory unable to come up the football. So it brings up his 3rd down. Looks like number 86 as well in there for the Hounds, Dylan Stacy. Number 70 for the Hounds up front, Keegan Reeder. So, a lot of different Hounds in there.
Corbin going to be content to let this one go into the 4th quarter. We're going to cut away as well. 3 in the books and 1 to go. Your score, Corbin 40, Wayne County nothing. We'll be back with 4th quarter action in 60 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
When you've been in business since 1954, you have to be doing something right. At Owens Auto Repair, they believe in honesty, service, and that hard work can still get you somewhere. Owens offers a complete line of truck and auto parts, as well as their custom-made hydraulic hoses, weather guard toolboxes, utility beds, and Sherwin-Williams auto paint. They also offer auto repair for cars, trucks, and RVs, and of course have top name brand tires. And they do towing and recovery. Owens Auto Repair, located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway.
Our world has dramatically changed over the past couple of years. We've all had to adjust to these changing times. But one thing has not changed is the fact that the Hart family and Tri-County Cycle Sales is still serving southeastern Kentucky with the same quality products and service after the sale since 1968. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Polaris are the biggest names in off-road adventure and still can be found at Tri-County Cycle Sales. For your next ATV or side-by-side, stop by the place where time has stood still. Tri-County Cycle Sales, located between Corbin and London on US 25 across from Kentucky Outdoorsman.
Welcome back to Campbell Field. Fourth quarter action unfolding. They rushed him out there quick during the commercial break. Cade Elam took a shot to the end zone on third down. It fell incomplete. Elam took a shot as he let the football go, but nonetheless brings up fourth down, about 8 yards to go for Corbin to convert and keep the football here.
Yeah, fourth down right here. Looks like the Hounds going to, with the lead, the big lead, going to get the offense reps. So Hounds looking to try to pick up this first down on fourth down.
Elam, play action, fires over the middle, in and out of the receiver's hands, incomplete. Can't hang on to it through contact, so Corbin will turn it over on downs with 11 minutes remaining in the game.
Yeah, clock moving again. Like I said, the Hounds up big 40-0, so clock moving. But, a really good play action pass right there. Number 12, Gage Feltner, unable to come up the football. But, again, you look at the defense out there, Hounds playing well. Get those numbers as well. Looks like number 20 is in the football game. Blake Lawson, number 1, Joe West Lester playing the corner spot. Looks like number 51, Nate Grigsby in there working hard up front. 44 Hunter Upchurch getting some work. Hunter had an injury, and good to see him back in there as well. So a lot of Hounds, in there tonight to finish this football game off.
Dunford in the shotgun on first down. Cardinals will keep it on the ground. Not very productive on that carry. He might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
It looked like number 36, Anthony Myers, in the game for the Hounds making a hit, and then number 76, Jace Hatfield, a freshman, and doing a great job as well. Hatfield just able to get quick separation up front, really quick off the football, and, can get into the backfield in a hurry. So Jace Hatfield playing in the backfield of the Wayne County Cardinals right there.
Clock inside 10 minutes as the Cardinals break the huddle. 4 wide receivers on the field. That's 2 each way for Dunford. Back to pass. Fires across the right side. Going to be hauled in and caught at midfield up to the 45-yard line. It's enough for a first down, Wayne County.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned number 9, Bryson Batt, coming back from that injury. And right there we see, Bryson in the football game getting valuable reps. And, you mentioned earlier, Ronnie, seeing Bryson in the football game, of course, a starter all season long, coming off the injury, just creates depth for the Hounds defense. So really good to see Bryson Batt back in the football game.
And with the lead, getting quality reps here.
That's right.
Getting his football lungs back under him. Dunford takes the snap. He's under pressure. Now he's going to keep it himself. Picks up about 5 or 6 on the quarterback scramble. That'll set up second and about 4.
Yeah, and a really good job right there. Nate Grigsby, number 51, kind of, putting a little pressure in there, getting separation from the guard, the offensive guard, doing a good job to pressure Dunford on kind of the scramble. So, again, looks like number 17, Evan Baker in there calling the defense for the Hounds, doing a good job as well. So, good to see a lot of Hounds in there working hard tonight. And, again, I think so far the Hounds have escaped injury-free through this football game.
Second and about 5 for Dunford. Fires into the flat, rocket screen. Trying to find some wiggle room over there. It does not exist. Might have fought back to the original line of scrimmage. Actually, they're going to take a yard away from him. Now it's third and about 6 for Wayne County.
Yeah, I think maybe a loss right there. And again, we saw Zane Hammock. Hammock's got 3 interceptions on the year, and you really closed in right there, doing a good job in space to make the hit. So, Hounds defense really playing well, forcing this third down right here.
3rd and 6 for Dumford. He spreads the field with 4 wide receivers. Hard count, Red Hound defensive line not buying it. Now Dumford makes a couple adjustments and resets his offense, moves his running back over to the left side. Rolls to the left. Now he's going to try to keep it himself. Gets past the line of scrimmage, gets the first down to the 30, to the 20. He'll be wrestled out of bounds at the Corbin 15-yard line. It's enough for the first down, and first time Wayne County's been in the red zone of Corbin in 2 meetings.
That's right. Yeah, 7 minutes to go. Hounds up 40-0, and you're right. First time, the Cardinals have been in the red zone. And again, Dumford, fighting a losing battle. Pretty good little athlete right there, can throw the football. A little bit inaccurate for sure. Had a lot of interceptions on the season, but he gets the football out in space. He can make a lot of people miss, but Zane Hammock again making that hit and keeping Dumford out of the end zone.
1st and 10 at the 15. Dumford hands it off across the left side. He's going to be tackled in the backfield. Forward progress gets him a yard, and that's about it.
Yeah, Anthony Myers doing a great job kind of reading the run right there, coming up making the hit. So Anthony Myers, number 36 for the Hounds, hitting the running back, and, for nothing, for 0 gain. So brings up, like you said, Ronnie, a 2nd down right here with, on the 15-yard line.
Run around 6 minutes until this one's in the books. We're in a running clock. Corbin 40, Wayne nothing. Tight trips, bunch set out to the right for Dumford. He'll roll towards those trips. Now he drops to keep it himself. Takes a shot. Picks up about 4 or 5 on the quarterback keeper. Now it's 3rd and medium for Wayne County.
Yeah, 3rd and about 4 or 5. And, Evan Baker, number 17, coming up making a hit. And, again, the clock just still moving fast towards 0. Hounds up big, 40-0 this 4th quarter. And, just what the Hounds needed to do, take care of business in this first round of the playoffs, injury-free, and then get to that 2nd round. And the Hounds have done a great job, to move to finish this football game tonight.
Dumford to the line. Makes an adjustment. He's got trips to his right, and he'll reset his running back to the right as well. 1 wide out to the left. Quarterback keeper up the gut. Gets blown up. He sidesteps, still surging towards the end zone. Got the first down, but not the touchdown. He'll be marked down at the 1-yard line. That's where Wayne County will have it 1st and goal.
Yeah, it was really, really close right there, and the Hounds able to kind of close in, and it looks like the ball spotted about the 1-yard line for the Wayne County Cardinals. So Hounds defense, trying to get going right here, trying to make a stand, keep that 0 on the board. But, right here, 1st and goal on the 1, going to be tough to do. But Hounds defense, big Jace Hatfield, number 76, anchor in the middle of the defense for the Hounds right here. Brings up a 1st and goal for the Cardinals.
Cardinals will break the huddle, 1st and goal from the 1. They'll remain in the shotgun, flip the trips to the left. Actually looks like a pistol set, that running back resting behind the quarterback. Now he'll adjust him to his right. Going to keep it across the right side, finds the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, Dumford, finally finds the end zone, and, we saw that score, the first game. Hounds totally dominated and kept the 0 on the board. But right there, Dumford did a great job making a couple people miss, leading the Cardinals down for the score. But, again, no harm, no foul. Hounds, defense on the field, getting a lot of reps for the younger guys in there. And a huge, huge lead right here. 4 minutes left in this football game.
Looks like Wayne will keep the offense on the field for the 2-point try. Even though they're cut into the lead, they'll still be running clock. Dumford takes the snap, throws the fade, back left corner of the end zone, going to be hauled in and caught. It's good. So 3:38 remaining in the football game. Your score, Corbin 40, Wayne 8. Looks like there may be a flag down on the play. We'll get you that before we cut away. Personal foul against Wayne County. They'll assess that against the kickoff. So 3:38 left in the football game. Your score, Corbin 40, Wayne 8. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means two things: hunting season and it's football time in the Bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by Southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on U.S. Highway 25 between Corbin and London, next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
3:38 remaining in the football game. Your score: Corbin 40, Wayne County 8. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. They're assessing the penalty now. There was a personal foul after the two-point conversion assessed against Wayne County. They're going to be kicking the football off from their own 25-yard line. Normally it's their own 40. Corbin has their hands unit on the field, expecting the onside try from Wayne County. Of course, it's the end of their season. Why not? Ball's blown into play. It's a hard line drive kick. It does hit a Corbin player, but it's going to be picked up by Stewart at the 45. Now he tries to reverse field. Pack of Cardinals around him, going to drag him down at the 45-yard line. That's where Corbin will take over with about 3 minutes remaining on the game clock.
Yeah, just 3 minutes and the clock ticking down again. But, you look at the field position. After the penalty, the Hounds really, again, right almost midfield, offense taking over right here. So, the Hounds have really played, from the 50-yard line in towards the end zone and have just done a great job, with time of possession, managing, the chains and just doing a great job. So, Hounds offense on the field. And see if the young guys can come in here and see if they can attack the Wayne County Cardinal defense and maybe put some points on the board.
Elam opens up in the shotgun on his own 45-yard line. Two wide receivers to the left, one to the right. Fires, ball's going to be batted down at the line of scrimmage. Fall to the turf, incomplete. And the clock will continue to run with this score.
Yeah, it looked like ball was intended for number 33, Logan Wagers, right there. But, like you said, ball batted down, but clock continues to run. So Hounds reset right here on second down.
Elam remains in the gun. Same formation, two running backs, three wide receivers, two to the left, one to the right. Elam going to hand off to Gregory across the left side.
There he goes.
Yards at the 50. Now he's got big gain at the 40, at the 30, down to the 20. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at the Wayne County 15-yard line. Big gainer there from Ethan Gregory on the handoff.
Yeah, just a really good run right there. He took the guns, out of the handoff out of the gun, got to the left side, puts the gas pedal down, and does a great job. And look like number 28, Jonah Mahan, kind of leading the way right there. So really good job by Ethan Gregory. Finding that little crease in the defense and getting almost to the end zone. So good run right there. Hounds looking to, like I said, minute 20 left in this football game, looking to add points right here.
Corbin up to the line. Probably going to take a knee here as we're right at 1 minute remaining in the football game. Looks like victory formation. Elam's going to fall on it, and that's going to be the conclusion of your football game tonight. Again, Corbin going to be right here at home next week. Probably taking on Lincoln County. Last time we checked, Lincoln was up 28-14 at the half on Knox Central.
That's right. That's right.
Definitely going to be another tough game. That is the team that gave Corbin the toughest ball game of the season this year. Is the Patriots of Lincoln County have a very explosive player up there in Clayton Davis. As always, give the Red Hounds fit. See if they can solve that puzzle as they did a year ago in postseason play.
Yeah, exactly. The Hounds take care of business tonight with a big win, 40-8 right here. But you're right, Ron. Hounds went on the road at Lincoln County and had all they wanted to see of Clayton Davis. Did a great job. Lincoln County using Clayton Davis to spread the ball around. We saw him in the running game. We saw him in, in the receiving game. Catching balls. So Clayton Davis, a force to be reckoned with next week. So. But, again, you knock down the Wayne County Cardinals tonight. You move to 11-0 perfect on the season, injury-free. And Coach Greer, Coach Elam, the coaching staff for the Hounds do a great job to set the Hounds to move through the playoffs right here at Campbell Field. So tip your hat tonight for the Corbin Red Hounds moving through the playoffs in this first round.
In your final score here at Campbell Field in round one, Corbin 40, Wayne County 8. Probably play in Lincoln County next week. Your kickoff slated for 7:30. You'll hear on your radio dial and on T1073.com. JB, again, thank you for all the color commentary. Jenny, thank you for the stats. Thanks to everybody back at the station. I'm Ronnie Bowling. This has been Red Hound Football on T107.